Hey guys, Harsh here, back in the video. So as you can see, we are not in our studio right now because we are going to test the camera of the M31. So let's get started. Now the M31 has a total of 5 cameras, 4 at the back and 1 at the front. So the 4 cameras are at the back are of 64 megapixel, the main camera, 8 megapixel wide camera, a macro camera and a 5 megapixel depth sensing for live focus, and the front camera is of 32 megapixels. Okay, now the camera app is located right below the apps tray over here, so just click on it and this will straightly open up the camera app. Now as you can see that by default it is set on photo mode and at the normal 64 megapixel camera settings. So you can change it to wide angle just by clicking on this icon over here. So as you can see that here are 2 trees icon and here is a 3 trees icon. That means you can just get more subjects in your photo. So just click on it, and as you can see that the wide shot is now enabled and you can cover a lot more area than the normal camera. And one thing I would recommend is that you should keep the ratio of the photo in 3:4 ratio so that you can get the maximum amount of subjects in your photo. So let me show you what it does on a full mode. So let's switch it to full mode, and as you can see that it crops out a bit of an area of the image, and if you put it to 9:16 then also it will crop some area out of the photo. So always keep it in 3:4 to get the maximum amount of subject in your image. So now let's talk about the main camera, which is the 64 megapixel camera. So let's just quickly click an image of this tree, or half tree I should say. Now let's check the image quality of the 64 megapixel. So you can individually define each leaves of the tree, which is pretty nice, and the overall quality when you zoom out is pretty nice. The colors are very bright, and let's take some more shot to test the quality. Okay, so now let's check the image of these leaves over here. So as you can see that we can identify individual leaves of the trees, which is pretty nice, and these leaves are pretty tiny, so this camera is very good in terms of quality to catch the individual leaves. Now let's take a closer look at this photo of an orange. So you can clearly see the individual pores or the roughness of the orange on its surface, so that's pretty nice. Now let's check the photo quality of this flower over here. So as you can see that the colors are pretty bright and pretty saturated, not too much saturated to make it look like very artificial. So the colors are pretty nice and the focus is pretty good, and this is not on live focus, that we'll talk about next. Now let's check the live focus. So it is right next to the photo option, so just click on live focus and we'll switch to the live focus mode, and here you can adjust the blur settings. So you can keep it too much blur or keep it at 0 blur, but that will destroy the whole point of live focus. So I am going to keep it at full and just click an image of flowers that I shot earlier. So let's do it. So once you know your subject, just click on the subject that you want to focus on and just click an image. Okay, so as you can see that the flowers are pretty well focused on the image and the background is pretty much blurred like an original DSLR that we shoot our videos on. So the blur quality of the photo is very nice and the edge detection of this phone is just amazing, but there are still some improvements here, but nobody is perfect, so we can't really blame. Okay, so now let's switch to the video option, and in the video mode you also have the option to shoot it on a wide angle lens. So just click on here and then you can shoot a wide image across which is very nice, and it also has an anti-shake feature over here. So just click on the feature and it will enable the super steady shot, and then you can just get some super extreme steady shots from this phone. So now let's check the video quality. Now you can also change the video setting resolution by just going to the settings, and here you can see that the rear video size and the front video size, so you can change both of them at the same time. So you can just click on the rear video size, and currently it's at UHD, which is 4K, and you can switch to FHD or HD, but we are not going to do that, so we are going to keep it at 4K and just shoot a video from it. Okay, so now this is the video quality at 4K and it is shot at 30 fps. So as you can see that the colors are pretty nice and the resolution is also 4K, so the video quality is very great, and the focusing is a bit late, but it is set on autofocus somehow, but whatever. And I'm going just through here, and here are some flowers over here, as you can see. So the overall video quality of this is very nice, and I'm using the microphone of this phone, so you can just assess how the audio quality is of this phone. So this is now at steady shot enabled, so you can see that how the stable video is, and you can compare it with the previous video of the 4K, but this video is at 1080p because the steady shot does not allow videos to be shot at 4K, so that's a downside, but still it is pretty good in terms of the steadiness. And if I can move the camera very much, you can see I am moving the camera very much, but the shot remains very steady. Okay, so now let's check the quality of the front camera. Okay, so this is the front camera quality, and we are shooting in portrait mode, but whatever, you can get the sense of the quality. So it is at 1080p because the front camera is at 32 megapixels, so the quality should be very nice for the camera. Now for most people this would be it about the camera view, but there is more in the more. So you have a lot of settings in the more option. So you get the pro mode, panorama, macro, food, night, super slow motion, and then hyperlapse. So let's start with the first option, which is the pro mode. So you click on that, and then here you can manually control the ISO, white balance, and the exposure, but there is no such thing as to control the aperture or the frame rates, which is pretty sad. But still you can have the manual control over the shutter speed, ISO, white balance, and the exposure, so you can get the perfect shot that you want. And then you can go back just by clicking on this little arrow on the top to the simple photo mode. Now let's check the panorama option. So on the panorama option you can also have the wide angle lens at work or the simple lens at work. So let's click an image with the wide angle lens, and then you just move it around like this so you can get the panorama shot. And you can see that this is very roundy and fisheye effect of the photo, but still it is a panorama and you can get a 360 panorama out of it, so that's been nice. Now let's check the quality at the main camera. So let's click on around and make sure you have a steady hand, because if not then you will damage your panorama. So in this, as you can see that the bottom and the top are cropped out because of the lens that we choose. So you can choose the wide angle lens for panorama because it covers more area and you can get a very nice and clean panorama from it. Then here is the macro lens. So this has a specific macro lens in the phone, so you have to place the object nearly 3 or 5 centimeters closer to the camera lens to get a macro shot. So let's click some shots and see how it looks. So as you can see, I shot this bug by accident or by coincidence, I should say. So as you can see that the quality of this lens is absolutely amazing. You can see the colors and the shine shell of the insect pretty nicely, and this is the first time I ever saw this insect and it looked amazing. So I just click the shot, and here it is. Now here is the food option that you can use to shoot some specific about your food, but we don't currently have food to shoot it, so sorry about that. Then here is the night mode. So this will be used when you are at night and want to shoot an image out of your camera. So let's wait for the night. Okay, so I'm in the night. I time traveled, so here is my phone over here, as you can see. So now let's open up the camera app and switch to the night mode. But before we can do that, let's just click on simple image with the simple camera, so as to give you an idea how the image looks. So let's click on it and see what the image looks like. So pretty nice for a phone, but still it has pretty dark and pretty noisy image. So now let's switch to the night mode. Here is the night mode, and then just click the same image, and make sure to keep your hand steady while shooting night mode, because this will take a second or two to shoot the image. So now let's click on the image. So now let's click the photo and check the quality, and wow, as you can see that the quality is massively improved. The noise almost disappeared, but still there is some noise, but it is better than the other photo that we shot. So pretty good night mode feature. Now let's jump back to the day. Now there are two slow-mo options, the super slow-mo and the slow-mo. So just click on wherever you want. So just click on the slow-mo option, and I think this will only allow you to shoot at super slow motion, but whatever. So you can just shoot video out of it and super slow motion. And same thing is with the slow motion, but just at a slower rate. So let's check out the video from a super slow motion. Now the one bad thing about the super slow mo option is that you can just shoot around 1 or 2 seconds of video, and this will automatically turn off the recording, so that's pretty not nice. So if you want to shoot a larger amount, then you can choose the slow mo option. Here you can just click on the image and shoot wherever you want and how much time you want, and then just stop the image and it will create a slow motion. So now let's check the slow motion video. Now the one good thing about the super slow motion in this phone is that you can just click on the play slow motion video on this over here, and then you can just edit the slow-mo part that you want. So this part will be played in slow motion and these parts will be played in normal speed. So let's just play this video and see how it is from the start. So you can see from the start it plays like fast, and then it goes to slow motion, and then it goes again to fast. So this is a pretty nice feature to edit the slow motion video on hand in your smartphone. Now at last, here is the hyperlapse option. It is just a simple time lapse and just a cool name for the time lapse option. So let's just click on it, and then you can just get the hyperlapse setting, and over here you can see that how much time you have recorded and how much video is produced from your recordings. So this is a pretty neat feature. You can just easily, so as you can see that at 20 seconds it is at 1 second. So that means that I have shooted this video for around 20 seconds, and this will create a video of 1 second at least. So now let's take a longer trip and shoot a hyperlapse. So that's about it for this video. Hopefully this was a very helpful review for you, and you can use the camera on the M31 just like I did and with the professional aspect. But the really good thing about this I like was the hyperlapse feature. It was very smooth, and the video that came out of it was very great. And I also like the slow motion, but I think that could be improved in some way, because you can only shoot 1 second of slow motion video at super slow mo. So that's a very big downside about the slow motion, but still it's a very good slow motion. You can get the video quality from similar smartphone at similar price range, and the inbuilt mic quality of this earphone is also very good, not that much bad. But still, if we are shooting in an open environment, so there are a lot of ambient noises, birds and animals chirping around, so there's that. And one thing to note out, that we shot all of our videos in an open environment, so it will be very different from the inside photo shoot, because the inside photo will be of less light and of less colors, I think, and ISO will be high, which will make the video a little bit noisy, so you have to watch out for that. So thanks for watching the video. Please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.